Music Pro in 2026. It's David here, and look who I managed to wrangle. It's Mitch Glazier. Paint us a picture of who you are.
So I'm the CEO of the Recording Industry Association. We represent the major record labels in Washington, and we work with a community of folks that represent different parts of the music industry. So American Association of Independent Music represents the independent record companies, and Artists' Rights Alliance and other groups represent the artists, and the Music Publishers Association represents the publishers. So we have a whole community of organizations that represent all the different pieces within the music.
And what was your presentation about this weekend?
So we had the small task of saying how AI is changing the music industry.
You're not going to be able to cover everything.
No, but the idea is to, especially in the law and policy, to sort of identify the major issues, like people's voice and likeness being taken by AI, or generative AI music services, and music, how music generation and AI is working. So we gave people a lot of sort of raw numbers about how many songs are being generated, how they're being used, how they're being uploaded, and then kind of went over all the individual rights that are involved, and what the implications are for artists and for record companies.
And what would you say are the key takeaways and key pieces from that presentation?
So the first is really the idea of training on people's music in order to generate a different output and what rights are involved. There are a couple of major lawsuits where we are arguing that their copyrights have been infringed. You can't just take an artist's work and copy it without their permission. And the other side is that it's a fair use because they're transforming it into something else. So that's pending in the courts right now. Voice and likeness, major issue. Digital impersonation, where you're basically taking somebody's voice or their image and you're making them do something they didn't do or say something that they didn't say. Incredibly dangerous and disruptive for creators. Then the issue of whether or not you have to keep a log when you copy something. Are you allowed to not be transparent about what you're copying? And then finally, can you own an AI work? Like if something's created through AI, how human doesn't have to be to have ownership rights. So those are some of the big areas that we're following.
It's a big thing too, because even in the self-publishing industry nowadays, if you have something AI generated in any capacity, if the book was edited by AI, if you're using AI artwork, you got to disclose this on Amazon now, which is either going to be a thing of, probably polarization. It's going to turn some people off, and it's going to make others say, well, I kind of want to check this out anyway to see what the whole thing's about. And considering it's art of another form, I'm sure.
And the government wants to know, when you do a registration for a copyright, they ask, was any of this made with AI? And if so, you have to disclose exactly what, because they don't want to give a copyright to a machine.
Yeah, makes so much sense. And so do you have any personal sense, I kind of understand the broader picture, but do you have any personal sense of the existential crisis or threat that AI represents? Do you ever have a different view?
I have a different view. I actually think that there are a lot of opportunities in AI for artists, for record companies, for music publishers, songwriters. I think that it all depends on whether or not you end up with partnerships, like what happened in the streaming economy, where it started out with services that were just kind of distributing music and saying we don't have to pay for it. And that kind of morphed into these incredibly sophisticated partnerships that have the best fan engagement that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so I think AI, poses so many opportunities for both creative tools and for, generative AI that the artist is in control of or participates in, that I wouldn't say that it is something that, that we should be necessarily scared of, but it is something that we have to put guardrails around to make sure that it's done correctly.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Steve Wiebe kind of put it brilliantly this morning. He said, how is it going to be your servant? Don't become its servant. Right. How is it going to be your servant?
And frankly, the people who learn to use AI the best, and that includes creators, right, are going to probably be able to take advantage of the most opportunities that AI has to offer. So it's an evolution. And one great thing about the music industry is it has been the most adaptive industry in American history. I mean, what other industry has gone from like wax cylinders, to vinyl, to cassettes, to CDs, to streaming, to AI, I think downloads was in there somewhere. So, you know, this is an industry that's used to adapting. And on the tool side too, I mean, synthesizers were this, and were this incredible tool. Auto-tune, for all of its controversies, right? People have learned how to incorporate technology into music making for, 150 years in this country. So I don't think that AI is something that we need to necessarily fear, but we do have to fear sort of early companies that want to take advantage and and instead of partnering with creatives, they want a quick buck, they want a quick IPO, and they don't care what damage they leave in their wake. And that's what we have to avoid.
Are you worried about algorithm updates, like at all? Look, it doesn't matter whether you're on Google, YouTube, or Facebook. Every platform has an algorithm, and the attention you get, even your latest music release, is 100% dependent on how the platforms prioritize views. The latest Google update caused blog traffic to tank. It's really volatile out there right now, especially with the emergence of AI. Isn't it time you started locking in your backup plan? What you need is an email list. My recommendation, get started with Kit, an email marketing platform built specifically for creators. Go to davidandrewwiebe.com/convertkit or use the QR code on screen to start building your email list today, because before long, it might be the only way you can reach your audience. This ad is not endorsed by Kit. This is a personal recommendation of David Andrew Wiebe. If you purchase through his affiliate link, he will receive a commission at no cost to you. This show is supported by its listeners and viewers. Thank you for your support.
Makes sense. And even some creators are using it for theme songs, which arguably doesn't take away from opportunities for other artists to create theme songs for those creators, right? But I would like to run this by you and see what you think about it. I don't know if it's ever been about the song, and I think that's why it's not a threat. It's been about the message.
Yes.
It's been about relationship. It's been about community, and it's been about taste making, like bringing your audience out to a cool bar that they would never otherwise experience. So a musician is selling, people don't like that word always, but that's what they're selling. They're selling kind of those 4 or 5 pillars rather than the song. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on whether or not you wrote the song.
Of course.
And so, if you didn't write the song, that might be a little bit more true. But something about that song made you record it or want to do it in the first place, right? And the only way that it worked is because it connected with you, and the only way it's going to work with fans is because you performing it connects with them. So it is always about the song in an underlying sense, because without that connection, without that authenticity, I don't think anybody's going to welcome what you have to do. And so if selling is connecting, or connecting is necessary for selling, I think that the song has to connect to you and to the audience the way that you perform it, even if you didn't write it.
Right. Those are some important caveats. I'm going to incorporate those into my future phrasing for sure. But yes, I would not discard whatsoever that the song, the intention behind it, and the passion and the emotion behind it matter. And I think that's part of what I conceive as being or see as being message. What is the message people are rallying around as a tribe and in a community? And there's different things, not just musical styles, but lyrics. Obviously, usually the major portion of it that people relate to. And that's the key part in creating that tribe, that community around you.
Absolutely. And I think one thing that, we will, whether it's AI or any other technology, fans demand authenticity.
Yeah.
And so there's, AI can be part of helping to get your expression out there. And in that case, it's enabling authenticity. But if it's just generated by a couple of prompts and it uses every pattern that's ever been used and repeats them, fans aren't stupid. They get it.
No.
And there can be what we call an authenticity backlash. So at the end of the day, I think, we have to secure our legal rights.
Yeah.
But beyond that, fans are in control, and they always will be, and that's a good thing.
Definitely. What's the artist model for 2026? What can artists do to make the most of this new technology, new opportunity?
I think exploring some of the good creative tools that are out there that they may not have used yet, right? Play with them, know what's going on. There are lots of licensed creative tools that are out there that use AI that I think can be very helpful. And even if you're not going to use them, just to kind of get a feeling of what the landscape is and what other people are using, it may be right for you, it may not be right for you. So I think that that's important. I also think there's, everything old is still true. There's nothing like live experience. I mean, that's where you're gonna get your chops. That's where you're going to understand how audiences are reacting. That's gonna help you hone your craft. There's nothing like getting out there and doing it over and over and over again.
Well, yeah, live is where everything I just mentioned is typically going to happen. Relationship, of course, that's never scalable. There's a point at which if you have thousands of people coming to your show, you can't shake hands and meet everyone. But when you're first getting started, it's like, you got to have a personal relationship with that audience, and they're going to keep showing up because of that relationship. And then community can build from there. And then
that's right. And you have to be true to yourself and your art. And if AI is helping you to do that, great. But if it's not,
well, exactly. The main thing that I see, especially as a writer, content creator, music producer, I've done all sorts of creative projects and continue to, is not have it take over my brain, not have it be my second brain, not have it be my outsourced brain. If I'm using it that way, then I'm not creating my life and I'm not being an active participant in it. So I will always want to think things through. Maybe sometimes AI helps me think things through. But as much as possible, it's like, how can I go inside of me to find the answer?
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this in our discussion, but I like the way that Hypebot put it after their survey, which is like, let AI do the math, but only the human can do the magic.
Well, okay, so I'm laughing because AI doesn't do math that well, or at least it doesn't do it as well as most people.
Efficiency. It can help with efficiency.
Absolutely. If anybody out there is doing their accounting with AI, please double check.
Don't do your taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Please double check it. Could get you into some trouble.
Sponsored by CPA.
Yeah. Some companies like to cook their books. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit too controversial there.
Thanks for having me on.
Mitch, thank you so much.
What a pleasure.
All right. See ya.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Look forward to sharing more with you.